Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and this is part two of making a junk journal from leftover planner supplies. Didn't really give it a name originally, but I guess that's what we're doing here. So let's get into it. I have gone through the scraps that I have, and I'm going to put this back. I found some bits and pieces that I can use on the inside. I didn't get any coffee stained paper though. All right, so I'm not going to use that. I think I'm going to use this as the center, and I am just going to tear the edges of this. This is how you tear. My ruler has a little nick in it, so it may not tear quite right. So it gives it kind of a rustic edge to the paper. Now I'm going to take this piece actually on the outside and use that as a guide on where I need to tear. With doing journals like this, unless you like that precise, clean cut look, you don't even have to cut the paper if you don't want to. You could just use your ruler and tear. And depending on the ruler, you can get a nice, clean tear. They even make something called a tear ruler. This is one of them. And you tear the paper and you get a jagged edge on purpose with one of these. This is my favorite edge to use, but I don't use it that much anymore. Okay. No reason. I just don't use that much. So if it's gonna go like this, I do have pockets, and we got the envelope. Those are kind of close together. So can we reposition a few things so that I can have a little more space between the envelope and the folder? Because those are pretty bulky pieces. All right, so I'm gonna stitch this in just like the rest of it, but I don't want this to be the first page. So what can we do? I need something else. Oh, I need something else for my first page. But I found this in my stash. This is basically a tube. So I folded the paper and glued it to make it like a tube shape. And what it'll be is once I put it in here, when you fold it in half, it's kind of like the page that I made with the candy cane stripes. So when I put it in, it is going to be a pocket on the ends. Now I could also glue that down, have the pocket here and pocket here. But I can decide on that after I add it to the journal. I found another one that I made, the same. It's just a tube. Let me give you an example. So imagine this is a full piece of paper. Maybe I can get a full piece of paper and show you. So this is what I did. I took the paper, folded it like this, made sure it overlapped a little bit in the middle, creased it and glued it down the middle and made a tube. Now that I have this tube, then I folded the tube in the middle. And now when I sew it in, I will have a pocket on either end. Now, the only problem I see with this at this point is that these are lightweight paper, so they may not hold up over time, but we can try it and see. And I could put both of these together here, or I can find somewhere else to put this one. I think I'll do it like that, and I'll have to trim that one. Actually, I was thinking of putting this in, but since I'm doing a full picture for the center of the signature, I won't do that, but I was thinking of using the envelope to hide the stitches, but we don't need it. Then this is a pocket from the kit. This is a pocket from the kit. So I can use these to embellish maybe the white pages. Yeah. Then I can stencil on the white pages to add some color. Yep. So we can do that. And then as far as this envelope from the kit, we can just wrap that around the page and add paper to it. And here's another pocket that I'm thinking I can use for the front, or I can just leave the front alone. We'll see how it goes. But I need to find something to put over this plastic. What can I use? I wonder if envelopes will work. So these are a little small, but I could create something with the envelopes to cover it. It's really going to be gator mouth, mainly because of that acetate. Let me see if I can find bigger envelopes. These might be too big, or are they just right? Just right. Okay. This is another way to make a journal, actually. So you open it, you got an envelope pocket there, even though it's kind of difficult to get into it. And then if I tuck this one in here, you got an envelope pocket bigger. Then I can decorate the outside of the envelope as well. Now you can glue those in place. I probably won't. Is that what we want, or do I want to turn it around the other way? So I can do covers all day long, but once I get the signature going and start embellishing is where I get stumped a lot. So I'm trying to push through all of that. But yeah, we're gonna have craft color envelope. I'm gonna try and put a crease in this so that we don't have so much gator mouth. Didn't really want to crease it when it was in the traveler's notebook. But now that we are using it in here, we can have a crease. Could probably heat it up with my heating tool and then burnish it. But I think it's going to be fine like this. And maybe I should fold it the other way so that this lands in the back instead of the front. What do we think? Let's do it, and then that way burnish the crease even more. So that would land like that. And this would be in the back. I think I like the pocket in the back better. So let's do it that way. Now we definitely got to train this to go the opposite way. I am going to heat it. That did it? Yeah. All right. So now you can slide this in here like that. And then this is going to go here. I'm not going to worry about gluing those pieces together. Okay, what I am going to do on this, and that's where I had this, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do on this tube is I'm going to miter these because I'm going to fold these in. This paper is so thin. I just want to make sure that it's going to hold up. So I'm just folding those edges. And okay. And I'm going to miter those off because I'm going to glue them, tuck them in and glue them to reinforce the edge. So, am I going to be able to do that? Let me fold it really, really well. Oops. Did that tear? It sure did. Maybe I don't need to put glue. Let's see if I can do it with the glue. Okay, I can do it with the glue. Just make sure this is mitered. Make sure this is mitered properly so it doesn't tear like the other one. So I gotta remember if I do these tubes out of this thin paper, next time I need to fold those sides in first. I don't even know if I want to do the black one like that. I may end up reinforcing with some type of design later. I think it goes this way. I am not going to do this one. So you got page creep here, but I'm not going to worry about it because all of this will be covered up by the envelopes. Okay, so we got everything in position, right? Let's go ahead and get this ready to be stitched. I'm going to press those into the spine tightly. It's going to be a little tough because of that acetate or the plastic, but I'm stitching that bad boy in there anyway. Let's put the clips, the paper clips on the paper. Can use the ruler to help to mush those down in there. So then this is going to go on here like this. My main thing is going to be getting this put into the center of this. It's going to be here and here. And let's figure out where we're going to punch holes. So approximately here. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is 2.5 inches from the center. Okay. So let's tuck this in tight, tight, tight. Gonna find the center. It's about right there. Then 1, 2.5. Then 1, 2.5. Hopefully I'll be able to see where I put my marks at. The one in the center is a little suspect. Okay. Now let's attach this to this and hope for the best. Because of the way this spine is. I'm gonna line this up so that it is in the center. Center. I'm probably going to end up taking the clips off in the middle of this process, but we'll see. Maybe I should poke the holes. I'm going to poke the holes through the pages first, just because of the way this spine is lined up. Let's poke the holes through the pages first, and then we'll go through cover. Oh, goodness. Make sure those holes is in there good, and twist and punch. Now, I used to punch using a punch cradle. There's a little cradle thing that you can use to help you punch, but I find it's more work to use the cradle. I gotta get these untwisted. And I used to also punch into a piece of foam, but I found when I stopped trying to punch down and punch straight out that my holes lined up better. So doing it like this, I feel like my holes just line up better. And feels like not all the way in the spine here. Let me see. These paper clips aren't holding in place very well. Seems like they let the paper slide too much. I'm gonna have to go back to using binder clips. Okay. Let's make sure all that's in there nice and tight. Pages are as straight as they can be. And boom. Okay. That was tough. So this is the front. Everything's going up like this. This is the bottom where my awl is. Let me go ahead and do my thread. So I'm just going to use the black wax linen thread again. 1, 2, 3, 4, just in case I want some charms or something, a little bit more for good measure. Let's get my needle. I'm going to use the big head needle again. I got glue on me. Excuse the glue. Okay. So I'm ready with that. I am going to, I feel like this is moving and it shouldn't be. I'm going to use my needle to hold that hole open. And I'm going to go ahead and punch these. Now this is where I need to be punching into something. So I'm going to punch into this garden kneeling pad from Dollar Tree. Okay. Because I don't have to do anything at an angle. And I'm just hoping these holes are going to be in the right place. Let's work them out. So this is upright. This is upright. Let me check my other pages just to make sure that they are upright. Okay. I probably should have put the needle in the middle one. Let's put this back here. So we need to use the needle. And take this out. And run the needle through. And I'm starting on the inside because I want my tails to be on the inside. Even though it probably would have been cute to have them end up at the top on the outside. Then I could string beads on them. No, I'm going to stick it with this. So I'm going to go in through the middle of the cover. And then I'm just going to clip this on so that I don't end up pulling it all the way through. Then I'm going to go to the top of the cover and go in through the cover. This is not a cute way of doing this, but ordinarily I would have done this I would have probably done a floating spine instead of a spine like this, instead of attaching it directly to the cover. But I'm trying to keep it simple. So this isn't going to be pretty. All right, so it's still sliding through. Came in through the top. Now I'm going to go down through the bottom. So we're going to have one long stitch in the middle, like so. And then let's go out through the bottom. And I could probably erase that pencil mark, but it's fine. If I can still see it later, then I'll just hit it with my kneaded eraser. Okay, so we're going to go back through the middle. Let's not try to tighten up too much yet. Back through the middle. Don't split the thread. Did I split it? I don't think so. Not yet. And then back through the middle of the pages. Can we get that straight in? Felt like I split thread that time. We'll see. All right, let's put the needle away. Done sewing. So 3 stitches, you can do that. If you're afraid to stitch, you can do 3 stitches. This is my least favorite part, I admit it, but it's not so bad. Unless you split the threads, which maybe I did. No, the other thread's not moving. Okay, I didn't. So now I'm going to tighten everything up. So here we go. And also I want to, well, my tails are almost basically the same. So there we go. Oh, no, they're not. Something was loose. And then we want to make sure that our thread is on either side of the long stitch. And let's make sure all that's nice and tight. No loose thread on the inside or the outside. All right, so now we're going to tie our knot. Did I put that in there the right way? Double check before we go too far. I can never remember which way I just tied the knot to do the reverse. Okay, let's take these off. And there we go. So you can see the holes a little bit, but I may add some lace or something to cover that. We do still have a bit of a gator mouth situation, but I think once everything relaxes, it'll be okay. It's probably those envelopes that are causing that. But there we go. And then when we put our cover on, we can run the closure under it. And I think she's going to need to be smaller. Let's go ahead and cut these two apart. I think I might make her smaller just so that I can decorate the cover, just to give you examples of how you can decorate. Plus, we want some of the cover to show, don't we? Let's, actually, I'm not going to cut anything off of her because I can use her somewhere else as a flip out. So if I cut everything off, or she could be a pocket. So I'm not going to cut off everything. So say, for instance, I wanted her to be a pocket on a page or on a cover. Yeah. So I'm leaving this because this could be the part that folds under to make her a pocket if I want her to have a pocket. All right. So I think we're going to stop there. We'll come back. It really looks strange to me to have a single signature with a perfect binding style spine. I always associate a single signature with a soft cover. So it's kind of strange to me. But I did it that way to keep it simple and also show you how to work with a spine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. We will come back and finish this up. It's not a lot of pages, but lots of things to decorate. And I did have a question about whether to use just white paper or scrapbook paper. And if you use scrapbook paper, where do you write? So as you can see, I used all decorative type papers in here, but we have lots of white space where you can write, even though I'm probably going to come back and decorate it up. That's just me. That's just what I do. But if you're having that dilemma, I mean, you can just mix and match the papers and say you use all scrapbook paper or decorative paper and don't have any writing space. You can add writing space. So for instance, we got these pockets here now. I could add writing paper in there. And then you have hidden space for your journaling. So it's not like just out in the open. Or you can add more paper in the pockets here. For writing, same thing with this part of the tube that I may glue down and make a pocket here. Or make it like a belly band and then you still have this open space here to add paper to. So it's not just the actual pages, it's what you add to it. So also the envelopes, you're going to have writing space in here, even after this is all decorated and everything. And I could probably get away with that. And I'm going to add more pockets so you can tuck your writing in there. You could actually even convert a page or two into. I didn't do that with this because I'm using old planner stuff or traveler's notebook stuff, but you could even add a few pages of weekly inserts or monthly inserts in so that you could document what happened for a certain month or period of time. You could just tip in actually a whole monthly calendar on one of these blank pages. So there are ways to add to it. It's quite satisfying to make your own journal. At least I think so. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for part 3. You may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.